Good morning, everybody. Coffee ran out of batteries. Don't you hate when that happens? That was a great Christmas present, I'm just going to say. All right. Well, while I put my sweatshirt on, you should get your Bible out and be ready to study. All right, we're in Genesis 31 still, I believe. And we've still got quite a few verses to complete. We're only halfway through the chapter, so I'm just going to get a move on. Verse 22 of Genesis 31 says, And Laban was told on the third day that Jacob had fled. Then he took his brethren with him and pursued him for 7 days' journey, and he overtook him in the mountains of Gilead. So there we do our math. It took them 10 days to get to Gilead. So again, they're moving, 15 to 20 miles a day. And again, with women and children and all of that, that's reasonable. So Laban was able to catch up to him since he was probably just a bunch of men, all on horse, camel, etc. back. But God had come to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night and said to him, Be careful what you speak to Jacob, neither good nor bad. Fascinating, neither good nor bad. So Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mountains, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mountains of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, What have you done that you have stolen away unknown to me and carried away my daughters like captives taken with the sword? Why did you flee away secretly and steal away from me and not tell me that, for I might have sent you away with joy and songs, with timbrel and harp? And you did not allow me to kiss my sons and my daughters. Now you have done foolishly in so doing. It is in my power to do to you harm. But the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, Be careful that you speak to Jacob, neither good nor bad. And now you have surely gone because you have greatly And now you have surely gone because you greatly long for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods? Then Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid for I said, Perhaps you would take your daughters from me by force. With whomever you find your gods, do not let them live. In the presence of our brethren, identify what I have of yours and take it with you. For Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. Now, one of the most ancient documents in existence. In fact, I think it is the oldest, or, I need to brush up on my archaeology game, but found in Susa, or Shushan, was the Code of Hammurabi. And we're looking at like 1750 BC Babylonian text, not the Neo-Babylonian Empire that we're so familiar with Nebuchadnezzar, but the original Babylonian Empire, which is around the time of Abraham. Little after Abraham. They were ballparking. They didn't stamp a date on it. But again, it's, when Abraham left that area of Ur of the Chaldeans, and that's where Babylon was, in that original first Babylonian Empire, we have this old text, and it covered a lot of laws. And one of the laws in the Code of Hammurabi is, if you steal someone's god, it's a death penalty. So Jacob was just kind of going with the law of the land. He knew what the rules were. You steal someone's god, well, then you got a problem. The good news is that you and I can put our faith in a God that no one can steal. You see, if people can carry away your God, you've picked the wrong God. It seems like a simple fact. If people can chop up and burn down your God, you've probably picked the wrong God. And if the thing you worship can so easily be stolen from you, well, you've picked the wrong thing to worship. So, think of it this way. Wherever your treasure is, there your heart will be also. If we pour into stuff, stuff can get carried away, stuff can get burned. Your team can be right there on the edge of the goal line, ready to win the Super Bowl, and then they pass instead of run. Everything just gets ripped away from you just in a moment. If you put your heart in the wrong place, worshiping the wrong God. And so the emphasis here is who are you worshiping and what are you worshiping? And let's just take it a little step further, a little bit more personal, a little bit closer to home maybe, because I mean, none of you guys would ever worship the wrong God. You're Christians and you know better than that. But again, if something steals your peace, and if someone says something or does something and it steals your joy, where was your peace and joy coming from? Was your joy coming from your peace? Was your peace coming from your prosperity? Was your peace coming from just the fact that you had everything under control? Because God always has everything under control. So if you're resting in His control, well, then nothing can steal that. Now, I mean, you've got a budget and you've got a schedule and you've got ideas and hopes and dreams. And those can all be stolen away. And if that's where your treasure is and that's where your heart is, well, they can get taken away from you so easily. Don't worship something that can be carried away. Don't find peace in something or someone who can get carried away. Don't let your joy be dependent on things that can get carried away. You need to focus your hope, your peace, and your joy upon the unchanging God. He never changes. Every good and perfect gift comes from the Father of lights, right? Comes from a God above, and in whom there's no shadow, variation, or turning. The idea there's just multiple words deepening the picture that God doesn't change. And isn't that great? The same God who said, I love you yesterday is going to say, I love you tomorrow, no matter what happens today. Boom. We got that done nice and quick. I've had a few 20-minute long morning devos lately, and it's kind of nice to just stay on point. So, God bless you guys. Have an amazing day, and I will see you all tomorrow.